Hi YouTube, it's been a while. I wanted to come on here really quickly and talk about a few things that have been on my mind, that have been on the world's mind. So I actually filmed this whole video like 5 minutes ago, and I had my address in the back, and my parents get kind of nervous about that. So we're just gonna switch the position and talk about it again. The world is in a self-quarantine right now, and people have time on their hands. And today I was looking at a video I filmed in December, and it was called Dear 2020, and that video I do almost every year. And I was thinking about editing and uploading it because I have time and might as well. And I was listening to myself talk and what I was talking about, and I truly feel that I have grown a lot as a person since then. And obviously I didn't know there would be a world pandemic 3 months later, but there is. And I just didn't feel good with uploading a video where I was talking about 2020 in a different way than I see it now. So much has happened since then. Of course, life is crazy. Senior year is very hard, and I feel like very few people just say that to others. And when my siblings are in senior year, I'll tell them senior year was hard for me. And no one talks about how friendships change in senior year. They talk about how they change after. And I've been struggling with that a lot, but I feel like that's very normal. And just also the fact that 17 and 18-year-olds have to like have their lives planned out and know what they want to do is really stressful. The main thing that I want to talk about is the coronavirus and quarantine, and how I know that it's affecting everyone in some way, shape, or form. And I just wanted to say my heart goes out to anyone that has been affected, but also to the people that are directly affected. They either are sick, or they have family members that are sick, or their income affected by this virus because they're unable to go to work or something like that. To the parents that can't find daycare for their children and have to take on all of that. All the teachers that either have to figure out online schooling or they cannot teach for the next couple months or at all the rest of the year. So to anyone that has been affected in a little way or a big way, I know that senior year is not a good year for this to be happening because it's scary and really uncertain. The fact that I don't know if I'm going to graduate in person is really scary and sad, and I can't even imagine that, but it's a huge possibility. I also want to talk a little bit about YouTube. In the last 6 months or so, my passions have changed regarding YouTube. I obviously do not upload at all, but also as often, and that's because YouTube is not as important to me. And I'm not even ashamed to say that anymore, because I am not the same person I was 2 years ago when I started this channel. And when I started, I was super consistent. I would never miss a video. I was constantly thinking of ideas, but that's because I thought I was going to do this the rest of my life. Like, I was so passionate. I was going to go to school for film, all of that, and now I'm not. Now I'm into nutrition and fitness and exercise science, and that's very different from what I thought I was going to go into. And even now, I'm like, do I want to do nutrition? Like, it's so all over the place that it's really hard to be the same person when you're going through all of this stuff. So I have an account called Healthy Jaden, and on that account I talk about nutrition, fun little tips, and also mental health. And the mental health part is my favorite part because I talk about topics that I rarely see people talk about on Instagram, or they're just topics that are really important to me in my life at that moment, and I really want to just put it into words and post it on the internet. One of the posts was about passions, and that whole post was me talking about YouTube without saying YouTube. Like, I was just talking about it in general, how passions change, and that is so valid and that is so fine. Because if we're all changing as people, like, why should we expect our passions to stay the same? Some of them can, but some of them don't. And for me, that was YouTube. I was unmotivated to do any of that. I did not want to upload any videos, or I didn't have the passion to do that anymore. And a lot of people would ask me why I'm not uploading, and I would just be like, I don't know, like I'm not uploading for a certain reason. I just don't want to do it, and I'm not going to force myself to do it. And especially that I've taken on different opportunities and different passions, I have things with that, and I have to invest my time in that. I'm honestly not even mad that the truck is making noise in the background, because that's the only like social interaction I've heard of it. That was not a good joke. Wow, it's so bright. Oh my gosh, the sun is coming out, guys. I also wanted to talk about quarantine, how hard it is for just the standard person. I know that everyone is affected like I said earlier on, but it's hard. It's really hard not seeing the people you love because you can't, and it's really hard to keep yourself motivated or feel like you have to be productive. What I've learned is I personally like to stay productive, or I like to have goals, because then it feels like the days don't blend together and I feel lazy or something like that. It's also really important to keep in mind that your worth is not based off of your productivity. Oh, here's the sun. See, this is me in the sun. This is me in the shade. What I like to do during quarantine, and I think it's really important, is to start new hobbies or start something new. What I have liked to do is I have picked up on penny boarding the last month, and I've really enjoyed that. I've seen myself get better at it. It's something I can do during this time. I can go outside, go on the street, and just penny board for an hour or so, and it's good to get outside, good to get vitamin D, and I'm staying away from people. It's safe. I also like hammocking in my backyard, reading a book, listening to music. Making TikToks has been a huge hobby of mine. Follow my TikTok. No, it's stupid, but it's fun, so that's a good thing. I really just want people to feel a little less alone, and that this time is hard for everyone, and we're honestly all in this together. As cheesy as that sounds, we all are. And hearing the positive things that the earth has gone through since this really, really weird time is insane. The positive things since the human population has not been outside as much. Point before I end the video, I really want to talk about social distancing and how important it is. I know everyone's posting about it, and it's really good. I'm really happy to see that, but I also still see people that are not taking it seriously, and it's really hard because I'm not going to just directly at them and be like, why aren't you doing this? It does not matter if you think you're immune or you think that you're young and you're not going to get sick, and if you do, it's not going to affect you, because that's not how we need to be working right now. We're all working together, and by staying home and being away from people, we're slowing down the spread of the virus. And it's really, really important to not just think about yourself. It's important to think about everyone as a whole. And I love you all, and I hope that you're safe and you're healthy, and that you know you're gonna get through this time, even though it's so weird and the earth feels really empty and sad right now. But my siblings are playing in the background, that's the screaming. But it's a really good time to step back and remember what's important to you, who's important to you, what you enjoy, what you love, to think about your passions, do something different, try something new. Talk to people, FaceTime them, Zoom them, do everything that you can that makes you feel like you're still socializing, if that's really, really what you need right now. I know that I've been having daily FaceTimes with my best friend, so, and texting people I love all the time, because it's really important to check in with everyone. So I love you all, like I already said, and maybe we'll talk soon.